What's good? You're listening to Tower Pod. I'm your host, Inspirational. Chapter 479 is out on Webtoons, Sunday, May 17th, 2020. This review is considered Fast Pass, as of when I record this. So, if you're listening via podcast and you don't use coins for Fast Pass, stop listening to me right now and wait a bit. I'll be streaming on Twitch tonight. 9 p.m. Let's watch the episode 5 of the anime together. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these reviews. It's crazy to think that I've gone through about 20 consistent chapter reviews in the past 4 months. Here's to many, many more as we get closer to our 100 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all for the love. Now, let's begin. As we talked about last week, Calivan gladly and definitely recognizes the threat that White is, and not just Calivan, but even Sene makes a remark of this unexpected turn of events. Granted, she likes this because, it adds more chaos so she can just fight and kill everyone. Yolker got destroyed, losing some fingers. I really thought he would be a fun match to test Cha's strength, but White just destroyed him. The mockery that White says about imitations that wore blood around their eyes to copy White is a pretty interesting take on Yolker's tattoo's origin, and it's cool to see how much White has grown as he recognizes that he's pretty insignificant in the grand scheme of things. White is still thirsting over Bomb, but just like everyone else, we want Bomb to grow before plucking the fruit from the tree, basically. At one point, remember, even in season 1, Rock himself said something similar, that he wanted to hunt Bomb when he was stronger. It's really interesting to see the difference in attacks that White has. He has a much more regal and minimal approach with a pure white slash over and over again. We even see his Blade of Fury, the vertical panel of beauty, and how subdued yet impactful as the demon figure that we saw first when he fought Calivan in the Doan Wall back in chapter 461 or season 3 episode 44. It shows the pure nature of White's attacks and hopefully continues for White to take on much more regal and royal approach to everything. As White told us, he wants to show us how to burn souls for Bomb because, well, apparently Bomb needs to know that in the future. We'll probably see that burning next chapter. And we see Calivan and the respect he has for his men. Although Calivan is a man of duty, as we've seen time and time again how much he praises Jihad, he himself is not someone who has the same ideals as Jihad. Calivan can't toss his troops aside as insignificant, even though his servants, as we now know more clearly, that they're actually his servants who joined Jihad's army for Calivan's sake. I'm honestly impressed as he posed that threat to the current squadron commander, as the Calivan I assumed would just take the order like a good little infantryman he is. This plus his dedication of this fight to his squadron against White is sad but amazing. Unfortunately, SIU doesn't really give us 1v1s, so something or the other will probably interrupt this fight. It's cool to see what kind of consequences of delaying Bomb to the wall to break this spell, which this is the consequences of it, right? The flagship went missing, and this could possibly lead to the death of this entire rescue mission because Calivan predicted that Bomb would rush in. That's some big brain reading your enemy by Calivan. Granted, Bomb isn't that hard to manipulate if you just capture one of his friends. It's not that hard. Of course, we know that in the end, Squadron 4 will all die because we need the showdown between the new division commanders of Squadron 5 that we just got introduced to at the end of the Cage/Wall arc because, Squadron 4 is old news. Alpha Tion is already dead, and potentially the rest of those main names from the last station arc. If Cheon Hee was still in this fight, she would have at least been against this order for sure, but she's stuck with Yu Hansong in Karka's dimension, so there's that. I wonder what this test that Jihad has for Calivan in Calivan's flashback. Has this test already occurred, or is this sacrificing his own troops the test that Jihad predicted? I'm not entirely sure. So Liboric says there's new recruits. It seems a little too obvious that they are the Hidden Grove recruits. The silhouettes look pretty different from the original presentation of the Hidden Grove members in the flashback of chapter 457 or season 3 episode 40. Even Taro the Rock lookalike seems to have smaller ears than the one in the new silhouette, so I'm not sure. Maybe these are new forms of the Hidden Grove members since the Coon has different hair. Maybe Liboric convinced the Hidden Grove members to join because he told them that even Doan has joined Jihad or something along those lines. I'm not too sure. Or are they Liboric's servants that are as strong so it doesn't matter? I personally thought that maybe Doan overhears this plan for blowing up the flagship and truly picks Bomb's side for once so that they can actually rescue Doan's friends who have been captured and could potentially get blown up with that flagship. Then we can get the showdown between Doan and Cha versus Coonhide Luch, who still looks like he's still in the flagship and was told to kill everyone, even the cute unnamed messenger chick he was hitting on back when we got the reveal of the flagship in chapter 469 or season 3 episode D2. It seems that all that talk about getting shown around the ship was just small talk since he seems to be the one that has taken out this entire flagship, so he knows his way around. Did Liboric lie to this coon? So Hin Luch is so pissed off that he has to die? Or is he upset that he had to kill off the captured Hidden Grove members? It seems like a pretty good parallel with Gato and his messenger/servant in the cage, so I'm sure we'll get more flashback on why Coon Hyde Luch actually betrayed the Hidden Grove. A small remark, but we get all this talk about a war of attrition, again from Liboric this chapter. We first heard of this war tactic with our Coon, or back in chapter 473 or season 3 episode 55, where everyone from the Great Families learns this tactics of propaganda and manipulation. Sheer numbers is what puts things into perspective for people to take action, and a whole squad dying to the hands of FEG is what will cause more flame to the fire and people to rise up and join Jihad's ranks. Although in this case, Liboric is using rankers and even high rankers as fodder because, well, he has replacements, so it doesn't really matter to him. War of attrition is usually not a proper way because, you want to use the least amount of resources to win, but Jihad has been in power for so long. He has many resources to spare. So in this case, when Karka really said, what do we have to lose? Maybe I want to say that was in season 3 episode 55, 57. I put it in one of the titles. I don't remember which chapter. But when Karka really said, what do we have to lose? We can see the difference as FEG has a pretty finite amount of players because of the constant losses for thousands of years, while Jihad has many that worship and are willing to die for a potentially unjust cause here. Although we don't get Caliban to fully turn sides, I do think that Caliban will become another party. Maybe a solo as he charges to take on Liboric when the second wall eventually falls, and I'm excited for that transition. That's all for the chapter. Make sure to heart the chapter on Webtoons on every time you finish reading and comment to be a part of the community. If you get a chance, subscribe to get access to these reviews every week. My social media can be found by searching Inspirational on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Shout out to my designer. You can find his work on Instagram at JadenV_photography. Shout out to my editor. You can find him on Twitter at YoungObesity. That's all. See you guys next time.